They've been planning this since 2008 and it's unraveling right before our eyes. There was a massive announcement yesterday that really gives you clarity on what is actually happening with your financial system. In today's video, I'm going to break down the massive announcement and how I'm positioning myself in the greatest wealth transfer in history. I'm encouraging you to do your own research and try to understand what will be the new rails. And I need you to really think about this. Do you really believe that the old archaic banking system is not going to change with AI technology? I know maybe from 2020 to 2024, it was the wild, wild west in crypto and blockchain, Bitcoin, and all this stuff. They were calling it nefarious, a pet rock, but that era is now dead. Do you really think with AI technology that they're going to be able to operate in the old system? Well, the proof is in the pudding, and I'm going to share with you the announcement that they made yesterday that's going to change the whole game. I'm also going to show you and have you listen to a video from Larry Fink sharing with you why would you keep your money in a bank. And you're going to see how this announcement attaches together and how the financial system is changing as we know it. So first, we're going to listen to Larry Fink himself say that why would you put your money in a bank. Number two is we're going to talk about the big change that just happened, including BlackRock, Visa, MasterCard, and Coinbase. And then next, I'm going to share with you what I believe is happening and how I'm positioning myself. So first, we're going to listen to the voice of Larry Fink from BlackRock. Let me give you the source. So the source on YouTube is conversation with BlackRock CEO Larry Fink and Brookfield Corporation CEO Bruce Flatt. It's around minute 13:33. Listen up.
And so there's a confluence of going on right now that more and more countries are trying to have more and more of their citizens getting back to their liability and their assets. Instead of having your liability, which is your liability of life, your duration of your existence, having your money in a bank account is one of the worst financial decisions of a lifetime.
I've been trying to teach you this is not our grandparents' and parents' economy. Savers are losers. Okay, so what's happening is your dollars collapsed 96 to 97%. We're at 120% debt to income ratio in America. The stock market is overvalued by 220 to 230% based on the Warren Buffett indicator. You have countries around the world that are in a debt crisis right now. They have a liquidity problem, and now they're coming up with new solutions. And here's the announcement that just happened. So check this out. Dozens of financial firms, including Visa, Stripe, MasterCard, BlackRock, Coinbase, are launching a new stablecoin called OUSD. They're sharing the revenue among partners. The source is Bloomberg. So digest that. They are actually going to share the revenue. They're coming together, large financial firms, to create a stablecoin to share in the. We're going into a decentralized economy. But think about this for just a moment. Here's where you got to put your thinking cap on. Do you think the old archaic SWIFT system, sending a wire that takes 3 days, I could literally fly money quicker to somebody than I could to send it through the system, okay? Recently, I had a wire, that I sent over. It got stuck and it took 20 days to get my wire back. So think about this. What is going to move all these stable coins and all this value through the system? You have to decide. I believe it's going to be technologies like XRP, technologies like XLM. That's what I believe based on my research. You have to start to think differently. The wild, wild west is dead, guys. It's not the wild, wild west anymore. They just disclosed JD Vance owns, what, $250,000 in Bitcoin? They just exposed Trump's crypto portfolio. Tons of Bitcoin, tons of Ethereum. Bitcoin is here to stay. XRP is here to stay. Solana is here to stay. Ethereum's here to stay. What you need to be careful with is believing these influencers who are pushing you out of the top 10 and, oh, this is the next best thing. No, it's not. It's going to be just like 1996 to 2000. Okay. The Telecom Act came in and wiped out a ton of companies and it got monopolized. And the Clarity Act is going to pass sometime in the next year and it's going to crush a ton of crypto companies. So you better lock in. You better understand what you're investing in. Okay. The next best thing that, it's the next best crypto. Trump's going to make you a millionaire. These freaking things that people are like, these crypto things people are promoting, it's all bullshit. Get locked in, get stoic, get calm, build a plan, build diversification, and understand you're in the greatest wealth transfer in human history. So here's how I do it. I invented Capel DR, not capital, capital, CAPL plus DR. I'm the inventor of it. It is the new wave of financial structuring for the future. This is not our grandparents' parents' economy. Helped over 15,000 people structure, not an investment, structure their assets, structure their ecosystem so they can survive economic collapses, they can thrive through collapses, and understand how to do the opposite of the 99%. There's a reason why 1% of the population owns all the wealth, because they have C, cash flow. He told you, why would you put your money in a bank? Cash is trash. Cash flow is different than income. Income you trade time for. Cash flow requires no time. So C is cash flow. Outside of debts and non-negotiables, we take our income, which we trade time for, and we put some into cash flow. Things like dividend stocks. Dividend stocks create money while we sleep. So now our income and cash flow outside of debts and non-negotiables to survive, we put it into A, assets. Assets what? That beat inflation. You have to decide. It could be gold, silver. I like XRP, Bitcoin. So I put my money not in a bank. I put it into assets that beat inflation. And then P is protection. Okay. I also put my money outside of my bank account to pay bills, debts, non-negotiables into A, assets that beat inflation. I put it into P, cash value life insurance, that gives me protection. And it also creates L, which is leverage, which is a family bank. So as you guys put your money in a bank and the bank lends your money out and they encourage you to get in debt, so you're in a debt-based cycle and stuck in this scheduled payments for the rest of your life and giving away your future labor, we're putting our money in cash value life insurance, putting our money into assets that beat inflation, putting our money that preserves our wealth like silver, and then we're borrowing from our own bank when the markets come collapsing down. We do the opposite of everybody else. Right now, crypto is red as hell, and I'm going into the fire. And I buy good cryptos at a fair price, and then when it goes parabolic, I get out of the fire. I do opposite of everybody else. So I'm not going into AI right now. I'm waiting until it collapses down, and we have a big stock market collapse, I believe, in 2027, and then I'm going to start buying AI. You got to do the opposite. You got to go against every fiber of what your body wants to do. You don't need the next best crypto, the next best price prediction. You need a system. You need an ecosystem. You need one spiritually, physically, and financially. Okay? If you don't have a system, you're a victim of someone else's. I'll say that again. If you don't have a system, you're a victim of someone else's. You have to take sovereignty of your wealth. You're the head of household, you got to get your shit together. So this is the greatest wealth transfer in human history. Let's get it. Love you guys. Warriors, rise, get your shit together.